it has been a crazy 10 minutes, in fact, but we'll get into that later. I got a good video coming for you guys, and for the people who know what video I'm talking about, I can't wait to make it. Looking forward to it. In any case, I just got back into Bend, into town. I've been out in the woods fishing for the last few days, and I filmed it all. And I'll be making a fishing video about it. And what's up going on? What's going on, Mischief Maker, Special Ed? How you guys doing? So yeah, the first day I stayed out at Sparks Lake. I think I may have, I posted that video of me waking up and I was freezing cold. Dude, it's like 90 degrees today, but that night it was 37 degrees at night, maybe slightly colder. Of course, it's way higher up in the mountains, like 2,000 or 3,000 feet higher than what I'm at now. But it's only like a 20-minute drive, so. In any case, the first night I camped out at Sparks Lake, and then I went out to, what lake was it? Elk Lake. And I was gonna fish at Sparks Lake, but turns out you can only fly fish at Sparks Lake. So, went down to Elk Lake, fished half the day, caught nothing, and drove another 20 minutes farther into the forest, and I went to one of the, there's two lakes called Twin Lakes. There's a tractor. There's two lakes called Twin Lakes. There's North and South Twin Lake, and I went to one of those and caught nothing that day. So then I camped nearby, ate me some ramen for dinner since I didn't catch food, and then I went back the next day, and man, I hooked 6 fish. 4 of which I got to the, actually technically 5 I got to the shore. One of them I had in my hands, and it was a monster fish. The one that got away, I had it in my hands. He wiggled out, fell, went into the water, and he was hovering right by the shore. You'll see it in the video. I took a giant stick and tried to smash it, but I missed, and the fish got away. The one that got away, it was a huge fish. But in any case, another one I let go, another one got away, broke my line and got away, and then I kept 3 fish. I had to throw one of them out because, man, the fish had a bunch of lice on them. For those of you who don't know, fish can get lice. These fish had some lice. So I had to throw one of them out. It was just too bad. So I ended up eating really good. Let me catch up on comments, you guys. What's up, Cote? What's up, Casey? Hey, Dave, good to see you, man. How you been? So I'm actually in Bend. I would be live streaming from where I've been camping just outside of town, but there's no signal up there, so not good enough signal to drive into town. Or I'm sorry, not good enough signal to live stream, so I had to drive into town. In any case, I am currently sitting outside of a Safeway in the parking lot, live streaming. What's up, Ketone? How's everyone doing today? And it is the end of the month blues. What, no service? Yeah, I didn't have service the last like 3 or 4 days. And there's no service at the camp spot that I'm at. So I have to drive into town. I'm actually, believe it or not, basically out of water. Basically out of water in my 5-gallon. And I got a little bit of weed left, but not very much. So, in any case, how's everyone doing today? What you burning on? Tell me your stories. Tell me your weather. You guys can hear me okay, right? I'm actually using my microphone right now. That one of you got me. It's a badass microphone. Oh, Fia had babies. Oh, finally. I feel like she's been pregnant for a year. That's cool. How many did she have, Cote? And MS dropped an update, and you can get free stuff from Twitch. NMS. I don't know what that is, bro. Prepping to travel 80 degrees and 80% humidity. Ooh. But you got AC, don't you, Dave? Don't you got AC in your truck? 8 babies, 9, but 1 didn't make it. Damn. Yeah, there seems to be pretty common where like 1 doesn't make it. Oh, No Man's Sky. Okay. And you can get free stuff from Twitch. What can you get from Twitch? Probably should update No Man's Sky. I haven't played it in a few weeks, but I do play that game on my Steam Deck, bro. If you ever get a chance to get a Steam Deck and you're doing van life, that's the solution for gaming on the road. I'll tell you what, not a great solution. You know, it is a good solution for gaming on the road. You're still gonna have to solve the internet, you know, problem that nomads have. They have AC, but this humidity makes the wet air super cold. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of humidity, to be honest with you. Like, once you're in it for a while, you do kind of get used to it. But at the same time, like, I don't know, just don't want to get used to it. Went to the farmer's market, got enough stuff for a couple of meals. Nice. I'm actually running low on food, you guys. Like, yeah, payday's in like a week. Since I drove up to Oregon from California, that took the bulk of my money this month. So, yeah, the end of the month, I knew it was gonna be tough. I knew it was gonna be rough, but now that I'm here, not enjoying it. But I was able to use Mother Nature to feed myself last couple of days, so that's good. Fishing license for me was free. The bait was pretty cheap, but the gas to get up there to get the fish was kind of pricey. Gas here is about the same as in California, it seems like. It's like $5 a gallon in some places, more in others. So still no Amazon refund. No, actually, so the update, I forgot all about that. I need to go check on my bank account. The update about that. So at the end of the 30 days, I'm fucking so fed up with Bank of America. At the end of that 30 days, they wanted more evidence, I guess, that it wasn't me. And I sent an email showing all the purchases from my Amazon account, which, you know, there was no purchases made for that much, $500 on mine. In any case, and then I sent them a message saying, I don't know how I'm supposed to prove a negative to you. And I've had a relationship with this bank for 10 years. I don't know why I've got to battle to get my money back when I was ripped off, basically. So they said another 30 days, which is actually coming up pretty soon. So I'm hoping next month that I'll be sitting kind of pretty when I get that money back. But the reality is, it was only about $500. It was actually a little, like $504 or something like that. Yeah. So frustrating. I'm kind of over Bank of America. I had wild caught freshwater whitefish and freshwater shrimp from Lake Superior on my way home from Canada. Dude, whitefish. The only way to cook whitefish, bro, is to fry the shit out of it. Best fries and cheese curds I've ever had. Really? Really? Dude, I gotta take you to the Tillamook Cheese Factory here in Oregon. Maybe it's not the best you've ever had. I don't know. But they got pretty fucking good ones. Like, if you've ever had Tillamook cheese, they got the Tillamook Cheese Factory here in Oregon. You can take a tour of it. And in any case, yeah, it's got some pretty good stuff. You stay near Bend until after Labor Day. When's Labor Day? Probably not. Probably be taking off in 2 weeks, like at the end of the first week. Well, we'll see. I don't know. Beginning of the week or beginning of the month sometime. Probably like second week of the month. Beer battered cheese curds and a taco, that actually does sound pretty fire, bro. It does sound pretty fire. 15 people in here, 6 likes. Don't forget to smash that like button, you guys. And if you're watching this later, rewatching it, don't forget to smash that like button. That message is for you guys. And also don't forget to check out my links if you feel like you can contribute. You know, if you have 5 on it, 10 on it. My links are in the description of this video, and I'm sure one of my mods will post in a second. Plus I've got a store you can check out. September 4th. Tons of fabric to hoe on the 1st. September 4th. Oh, tons of traffic. I should be around. Yeah. What is this? August, right? This is August? Yeah. Hey, what's up, Jeannie? How you doing? Zag is doing good, you guys. She's sitting right here with me. Hi, good girl. How you doing, Jeannie? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live stream. She's doing well. She really enjoyed the lake. We were up there for a few days, and man, she got all her sniffs in. She really likes to just blizzard in the sun all day. The camp spot we were at was right next to the river, a river. I'm not really sure which river it was. But yeah, she had a good time. I get a little nervous when we're out in the woods, and I let Zag off leash when we're out there because she tends to stay pretty close, but she still gets like, you know, starts following her nose, and she doesn't know that the forest is dangerous. Like, she doesn't know that the woods is dangerous. We were fishing right on the edge of the water, and she kind of walked a little ways away from me, and this eagle flew over, and I was just like, oh shit, and I kind of got up just in case the eagle was gonna swoop down at her, and it didn't. But Zag is completely unaware of these things. She doesn't know that the world's dangerous because she's always been protected. So that makes me a little nervous sometimes. Next weekend, first Friday payday and Labor Day following Monday. Nice. Yeah, I should be around for that, I think. I got a friend coming to visit me here in Central Oregon, and I'm going to show her my stomping grounds. I'm going to show her where I grew up, and the forest, and, you know, and Bend. And she's going to help me do some filming, so I'm going to be making some cool videos. Get to show you guys Blockbuster. Right now, I got 2 videos I got to edit and post. One of them is my fishing video, which I need to get that out sooner than later because, one, I was actually commissioned to do this. One of you guys sponsored that video. Thank you, Chuck. I appreciate it, for the gas money to get out there. So I got to post it for that reason, and the second reason is because the footage of fishing is just taking up an enormous amount of space on my phone. You know, when you're just sitting there filming or sitting there fishing, you put your camera up, and I just let it roll, you know, and film, and it filled up my hard drive on my phone pretty quick. In fact, both my phones. I have another phone that doesn't actually have signal. You can see right there. Doesn't have a connection to anything, but I hotspot it and use it as a GPS. I also film on it all the time, so yeah, that one's also full of all the fishing footage. So I need to figure that out. Nice fish. What bait do you use? I just power bait, bro. Fishing right off the bottom with power bait. There's a little bit of a trick at the lake I was at. You know, the locals kind of know the trick. The tourists don't. The people that don't fish there very often don't. But if you're gonna fish off the bottom there, you know, you put your weight and then your bait floats, and most of the time the distance between the weight and the bait, people will make like, you know, 1.5 feet, 2 feet, but at that lake, no, you gotta make it like 6 feet leader in between your weight and your bait, because the vegetation at the bottom of the lake is so tall. You want your bait to hang out above that. In any case, I taught a few people around me. These little kids were fishing, not catching anything, and once I caught one, they were like, what bait are you using? Same bait they were, but then I told them, make your leader really long, like as tall as you, little kid. He was probably like 10, and Yeah, he did it. He made his leader real long, cast it out, and boom, first cast, he caught a fish, which was really cool. Like in Max Bag in the Alpine Lake. Hey Dave, where I am fishing, there's no bag limit because it's a stocked lake. But there are other places with like 2 trout limits and 25 kokanee, which kokanee are like landlocked salmon for those who don't know. But they're real small, so you get like 25 of them. Got a new pole while I was here. Fuck yeah, dude, we'll go fishing. Down to a single phone. Had 2 old AT&T phones. Dying a week on T-Mobile now. Yeah, I'm on T-Mobile too, man. I do not regret it. I mean, if you would ask me 10 years ago, I might have regretted it, but now I don't. Man, I'll tell you what, Bend has changed quite a bit. Love kokanee, pink meat, trout, basically. Yeah, kind of like trout, salmon, trout. They're very, very similar. One's kokanee is a landlocked salmon. It's a salmon that doesn't get to go to the ocean and get really, really big. But yeah, it's amazing meat. Yeah, you're right, pink as hell. I got 2 trips coming up in September, a concert and a haircut for Kendall. Life is good. Is Kendall your puppy? I've seen your puppy on your on your Facebook, Jeannie, and I gotta say that little snaggletooth of your puppies is really cute. You know me, I can throw down in the kitchen. Dude, that's good. You want to see what I actually will be showing this in the fishing video, you guys, but this is what I gutted and filleted the fish with. I had a fillet knife. I don't know where it is, but I had a fillet knife. It was up there at one point. I found all my knives, everything but my fillet knife. So then when it was come time to clean the fish and fillet it, couldn't find my fillet knife, and my other knife was a little bit too dull to pull the job off, which was kind of embarrassing. I like having sharp knives. But this is what I did it with. I butchered the fish so bad, you guys. Worst fillet job I've ever done. But I got a good meal out of it. You know, got to cook in the cast iron. And Zag got a good meal. I got a good meal. The night before that, I had just eaten like canned chicken ramen. So I like to fish hungry. I don't know if that's weird or if it's just me, but I feel like that's a huge motive. I also like to hunt hungry. There's not a bigger motivator that I can think of that's safe besides being a little bit hungry when you're trying to get food from nature. So I feel like I hunt better and I fish better. You know, when I'm hungry, I've just got a bigger motivation to actually catch something. So Blue Ridge 12 days, leaving next Thursday. Nice, dude. Deep kokanee, get nice size. Out here, they don't get too big. I mean, compared to salmon, they're fucking miniature fish. But yeah, they don't get too big out here. That's why they have a 25 bag limit for them, because there's just so many. Also, something that's changed in the last 10 years at my favorite lake. I'm very disappointed by it, actually. Like, I'm kind of bummed out leaving the lake the other day. It was, you know, I don't like change back in my day. Anyways, so I grew up fishing this lake, right? And the only thing that was ever in it was trout, rainbow trout. In fact, it's a stocked lake, stocked rainbow trout. That's the only thing that was ever in it. And it was great fishing. The fish were all healthy, and you know, in any case, I fished there. It's been a very long time since I fished there. Went back, fished there, and there is still rainbow trout, and they are still stocking it. But there's also catfish now, so that means a whole bunch of catfish, actually, which means somebody at some point brought 2 catfish, male and female, and threw them in that lake to just let them breed. And now that lake is overran with catfish, which I don't know. I'm not a geologist. I don't know if it's good or bad that catfish are in there. I don't know much about it, but I do know that I imagine it's somebody trying to disrupt the ecosystem there. Um, and with those catfish, also brought lice. So apparently there are lice on most of the fish out there. And I actually had to, I showed it in the video. I had to throw one away because of all the lice on it, you know. And the other two had a little bit, but man, one of them was real bad. So I didn't notice it until I got it back to clean it, and I was just like, wow, this thing is a mess. So I decided not to eat that one. Any Rangers in I license? Any Wranglers? I don't know what you're saying. I have a Bubba fillet knife for tuna. Nice. Tunas are huge. Like yellowfins. 14 inches of standard for kokanee and alpine lace. I think they're, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. They might be a little smaller than that. I don't know if I've seen 14 inches of kokanee out here before, but yeah, I could be wrong. Who knows? The salmon out here, since they're stocked, most of them, they also have browns. They rainbow and brown are the two natural trouts out here, and then they also stock rainbows. So when you catch a brown, you know it's native, and for the for the rainbows, you got to see if they clip one of the fins. But the rivers have some pretty strict. Oh, I shouldn't have talked through that hit. The rivers have some pretty strict regulations out here, but a lot of the lakes have very, I don't know, not very strict. They're very loose regulations. Like the river, you get a bag limit of 2. I'm pretty sure there is no bag limit up at the lake I was at, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's like 5 or something. I probably should know that. I mean, I caught 6. Well, I hooked 6. 1 got away. 1 slipped out of my hands and got away. I let 1 go. Kept 3. Planted fish. The bottom fins are worn down from the concrete chutes at fish farms. Oh, I didn't know that. Here they clip the fin, the back fin, so you know it's a hatchery fish. In fact, that's when it's a hatchery fish and you're in the river and you catch one, you're good. But if it's a natural fish, then it has to be a certain size for you to be able to keep it. But the hatchery fish, they just release them at that size anyway, so maybe a little smaller sometimes. You can actually go to the fish. There's a couple fish hatchery, but there was one that my dad used to take us to when we were kids. And I'll probably end up going there on this trip at some point. But, you know, you could get the little kibble food or whatever that you could throw into the fish tank, and they just go frenzy for it, dude. It's so cool. Which also makes fishing really easy too when you take your like power bait or whatever bait you're using and they're hatchery fish. You put that kibble, you buy that at the store and crush it up, put it on your bait, man. They go nuts for it. You know, it's so easy to catch fish that way. Wizard Falls. I feel like I know what Wizard Falls is. I feel like I've been there. I'm not sure. Hang on. I gotta put my do not disturb on my phone. I'm getting a bunch of texts. I'm sorry, 1 second. There we go. I was just getting texts that were streaming across, and I usually have do not disturb put on when I'm live streaming so it doesn't distract me, but I forgot to put it on. I'm gonna watch later. Gotta work. Can't wait. A fishing show, sweet. Yeah. Take care, Ketone. Have a good day at work, man. Thanks for being here. It'll be a quick fishing video, you know. Maybe not that quick. I've got like 3 hours of freaking footage that I gotta go through, so Wizard Falls on video will rock your followers. You know what falls I actually do want to show you guys, and I've got plans to do it, is Tumalo Falls. If you get a chance to look up Tumalo Falls. Wizard Falls, I freaking know that place. Why does that sound so familiar? I don't know if Wizard Falls is near me though, but Tumalo Falls is. Tumalo. Freaking beautiful there, dude. It's actually kind of warm in the van right now. I bet you it's like 80 in here. 85 maybe. You got the sun coming through the window, and that's why this is pulled right now, is so that way I could block some of it. But yeah, it's pretty warm. It's off the Metolius by the hatchery. I know the Metolius. I actually know it well. Maybe that's why Wizard Falls. There's also, I think I do know where you're talking about, actually. It's my, yeah, nah, yeah, Wizard. I feel like there's also something else out there called Wizard, like Wizard Bridge, Wizard something. Anyways, yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen that falls. There's so many waterfalls around here. I'm not sure that's one I've been to, but if you get a chance to look up Tumalo Falls, dude, I totally would if you haven't been there. Maybe I'll check both out. I will be in the Metolius area out in Camp Sherman here pretty soon. So, what's up, Critter Bones? Well, hello, Zig. Let me sit down and grab my bowl. How you doing? Yeah, man, that's the right move. Grab your bowl, man. Burn with me. 3 miles off from Camp Sherman store. Yeah, I know that area. I've actually camped in that area. You know why I don't fish that area very much, or I guess I go there, but really just to camp for the day or whatever, because it's fly fishing only until Wizard Falls or Wizard Bridge. I don't know. There's something like that. The Wizard is triggering something in my mind. That's where I'm allowed to start fishing. But up until like the Camp Sherman store and before that, all the way up to there's a bridge, like a third, fourth bridge after a bunch of camp spots down there that you can only fly fish. And I spin cast. I was raised fly fishing on that river, actually, Metolius River. My dad used to take us out there all the time. We'd wear our waders, and we'd go out traipsing through the river and fly fish. But yeah, I don't fly fish anymore, and it's an expensive hobby. It's much cheaper for me to fish like this. So yeah, maintain trophy fish sizes, probably to not let it get overfished, since fly fishing is a bigger challenge. Admittedly, it's a bigger challenge than spin cast. And they also don't let you use barbs there, and if I remember correctly, they're catch and release only, but I'm not sure if that's still true. Yes, you can fish creeks. You can fish creeks that run into Metolius 200 feet upstream. Oh, interesting. I do know of some creeks, actually. Yeah, catch and release. Yeah, I thought so. Vaguely remembered that. I remember our dad would just take us out fly fishing. We never brought fish home. Not from Metolius, so it must have been catch and release. I just got a sick bait caster rod and reel. I got a Shakespeare from Walmart. It's not an ugly stick, but Shakespeare makes ugly sticks, and it looks just like an ugly stick, but it's not an ugly stick. So Wizard Falls in 3 or 4 colors of turquoise blues. Well, I'm colorblind, so you probably see it prettier than I do. Crazy learning curve. A learning curve? From what? For fly fishing? Dude, as you know, I am gonna refrain telling people of my final destination because evidently I don't know myself. None of us know where the hell we're going, dude. I love my Walmart pole. Yeah, me too. It gets the job done, and it's not like I'm doing real serious fishing anyways. Like, I threw power bait on a treble hook, casted it out there, and then smoked bowls till it shook. But man, pulling the fish in, it's such a blast. Learning curve and bait caster. I don't know, that seems pretty simple to me. Maybe it's the other way around for me. I was raised fly fishing, but I'm still not sure I'd be very good at it today. I wasn't very good at it back then. But bait, spin cast is pretty simple. Sounds like a good time. We usually head to Michigan. A close friend of mine inherited a campground on 2 lakes. Oh, that's rad, dude. You know how many times, like, you can ask Dave, how many times I've talked about, like, buying a campground? That would be sweet. I've unspooled this thing 100 times. Are you trying to figure out how to put line on it? Bro, that's actually, I could see how that could be a pain in the ass and confusing. If you put it on the loop, the knot thing on first, and then it doesn't spin on, that means you got to put it on backwards. And what's backwards when you've done this weird knot? And yeah, I can understand that being confusing. Hey, what up, Darren? How you doing, man? As long as the fish bite, I don't care what I use as bait. I mean, I'm sometimes cool with the fish not biting because I'm sitting out there in the most beautiful places on earth. Same Dave, line too heavy, ugly stick bait caster. I've used a retractable dog leash to fish. No unspooled while casting. So I've actually you know how you can make like pressurized traps or spring-loaded traps for to snare animals and stuff like small game, rabbits and squirrels and shit. If you do that with fish, you can do the same thing. So you just bend the branch back or whatever your tension is, and hook it on a little sensitive trigger, and have your line in the water. When the fish pull on the line, it'll pull that trigger and whack and snap the fish. So you can actually make fish traps, the same way you would do survivalist. Um, Same way you do survivalist, like, I don't know, snaring. Made fish traps with mouse traps. That's a good idea. It's totally illegal to do this, by the way. Like, you're not supposed to make fish traps. Not unless you get certain licensing, I think. At least not here in Oregon, because I've looked into it. But I've definitely practiced and done it, so it's pretty sweet. Here, once we learn it, they're the best. Once we lean it. What am I missing? Hey, what up, Alex? How you doing, dude? I just default to dude because Alex could be a boy or a girl, so I call everything dude. So I just default to dude. What up, dude? Hey, Dave. Dave, you're on chat right now. Remember when we went to Schoolie Palooza and there were all the buses there? Do you remember a bus there called Was a Bus? I think I put it on my Schoolie Palooza video, as a matter of fact. But it's here in Bend. Thought about going and knocking on their door and being like, hey, I've seen your bus all over the freaking country. I wanted to say hi. But I haven't yet. But I slept like right next to them last night, like right across this dirt road from it. I also saw it here at Safeway a few days ago. But yeah, it was a bus. It's a bunch of, dude, this is a pretty dope spot for summertime van life. It really is. Need a fur bearer's license. Oh, yeah, to trap like small game you do. I know that. And well, so I'm not sure you need a license for all fur bearers. I think, and I don't know about your state, but in, I believe, Oregon and New Mexico, fur bearers are like coyotes and squirrels and chipmunks and all that shit. You're allowed to get those with just a hunting license, and it covers fur bearers. I'm not sure how true that. I'm kind of like 60% sure on that though, so don't quote me on that. Was a party bus where the rave was. Yeah, they're super quiet here, bro. They're not a party bus. Yeah, but I remember them having the stage on top of the bus and people were playing on top of the bus. Yeah. My backyard has a sewer hookup and it's out in country. Great fishing all around me. Yeah, fishing is like Mother Nature's lotto, where you throw your line in and then you just kind of wait and hope, and maybe you'll get one and eat tonight, maybe you won't. Man, I got skunked the first day. I fished 2 different lakes and I kept moving around and got completely skunked, got nothing. And then, the second lake I went to is Twin Lake, which is like my favorite fishing spot. Fish there are great, easy to catch. And I caught nothing that first day. But I was also in a spot that I don't usually fish. It was the easiest spot to get to. Usually I walk like halfway around the lake and fish in this spot that I just slay it. And the first day I didn't. I stayed close to the parking lot. Didn't want to walk that far. Caught nothing. Next day I made the trek. Walked halfway around the lake and slayed it. I probably could have kept catching fish all day long, but at some point I had to stop because, for one, I had too many fish. I had 3 that I was bringing home. I had caught more, but 2 got away. I let 1 go. And I don't have a fridge. I don't have any way to keep these fish fresh. So, I offered a fish to a friend of mine that stays out here, and apparently they don't eat fish. So one of them had a bunch of lice on it. I had to toss that one, unfortunately. I wish I would have just noticed that right away and let them live. But I had to toss that one, and then the other 2, I cooked both, and then Zag ate 1, and I ate 1. So we ate good that night. All gathering for Descend on Ben next week. So is the Free Rebel Burning Man, also commercial Burning Man. Yeah, someone posted on one of my van life groups recently, like, who's going to Burning Man? I was like, is it free? And no one responded. Am I going to Slabs in Schoolie? I obviously will swing by Slabs. I don't think I'll be staying at Slabs all winter. There's a lot of the Southwest I'd like to see. I want to go to. But I have, Dave, I've got some very close, dear friends of mine in Slabs. I would love to see them, their family. See the Bottle Kids, say hi to everybody. But my typical MO in Slab City is not to stay the entire season, you guys. My typical, usually, I get there in October, around Halloween at the end of October, and I stay until January and I bounce. And then I don't go back until the next year. But the last few years have just been, the cookie crumbled that way, and I stayed the entire season. So I don't want to do that this next coming season. But it seems like, I don't know, I've got such good friends there that I stay for holiday. Halloween's cool there, and then I stay for Thanksgiving just to be around friends and family for the holiday, and then Christmas is coming up, so I might as well stay around for Christmas and New Year's. Well, then what happens right after that is my birthday. It's in January. Anyways, some dudes are looking at me all weird. In any case, yeah, in January is my birthday, so I might as well stay with my friends and my birthday, and then, yeah, that's what tends to happen. That's why I stayed not last year, but the year before that, all winter long, and then, shit, I might as well stay till this one. I might as well stay till February and March, and might as well stay till 420, and I can't stay. I just got 4 free used tires on my car, and we'll have to pick them up. Say by 5. I'll come back later and finish the live stream. Bye, Critter Bones. Good to see you, dude. Thanks for being here. Put it above fire and it'll last forever. Soak it in salt water overnight and smoke your fish. So I can't have fires out here. There's a fire ban. And like I posted that video about, all the smoke and stuff. Yeah, we're not allowed to have fires right now. So I can cook on propane when I'm out in the forest. I'm allowed to cook on fuel of some kind, but not have a fire. Which makes basically any, preservation options pretty limited. I suppose that, I could dry it out in the pan or just cook it, but even then, like, I don't know. I didn't have any easy way to preserve the fish, so I just had to cook both of them. But I wish I could have stayed so I could have kept fishing, because catching fish is fun. But the fish out there, it seems like they always swallow my bait and hook. So when I do bring them up, it's very unlikely they're gonna survive. When I'm ripping the hook out of their guts and shit. So. Sometimes I caught this one small one right on the lip, like you're supposed to, but he was so small I let him go, and he was able to just. But another one, actually, I don't know if he broke the line or if my knot came undone, but the hook was in him. The line snapped or whatever where the hook was, and it stayed in him. And then I lost him, so he's out there swimming around with a hook in his gut. Sometimes that's just the way the fishing cookie crumbles. Oh, Jeannie, thanks. I appreciate that. I just saw that. Thanks for that donation. And if anyone else wants to donate, I could actually really, really use the help right now. Um, because it's a week until payday and I'm basically broke. You know, eating poorly and I have an eighth of a tank of gas. So any and all donations are very helpful right now. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App are the best because I get them right now. That'd be the most helpful. But those super chats are still really rad. At the end of next month, I will be sitting really a lot better than I was this month. So I want to go to Slabs this winter so bad. Darren, I hope you do. I really, really hope you do, man. If you're gonna go and you want to meet me, I'll probably be there in the beginning of the season around the holidays. I know that's tough to go out to the Slabs during holiday season, but that's also like, you know, my friends and family are there, so that's where I'll be. Yeah, thanks again, Jeannie. Last year we barbecued burgers and smoked weed by the fire for your birthday, and I got cake smeared all over my face. Thank you, Shannon. I love you very much. Um, yeah, man, Shannon is one of the most amazing people I know, and without fail, for people's birthdays, she will get them a cake. She will make sure that you know that you're appreciated, and she also does that by smearing a little bit of frosting on your face. And she does it to everyone, and I knew it, and they brought the cake out, and for some reason I was just so flattered. Everyone was singing happy birthday, and when they finished I was like, oh shit, and I like lunged away, and she still chased me down and got me with the frosting. So what's up, Fart Zach? How you doing, man? Zag is doing well, thanks for asking. She's just laying right here next to me in her dog bed, dude. But yeah, she's feeling much better. Yeah, I'm really, really grateful that she's feeling good and that, you know, there was nothing serious going on, and the vet bill was pretty cheap. So all in all, it could have gone a lot worse. You rock, Genie. Damn right. Soak in salt water, keep 24 hours. You know, yeah, that's, I guess I would need a lot of salt, which I don't actually have a lot of salt because of my heart. I don't carry a lot of salt. And I'm, like I said, pretty low on water too. Really, there was no really good way for me to, I really shouldn't be eating salted food either because of my heart. So that's, I mean, maybe it could have worked for like feeding it to Zag, but I really just need a fridge, dude. Like my fridge going out on me really, you know, was very inconvenient. So getting a new fridge is on my to-do list, but next month I'm not really sure I'll be able to afford it either. I'm gonna be traveling back south, so at some point, not really sure how that's gonna work out. The hook will dissolve in a few days. The enzymes in a fish dissolve brass. Oh, is that true? I didn't know that. I hope that's true because I figured for sure that fish was done for. Well, my SH donation isn't gonna help till next month, but hey, I got something to look forward to. Jeannie, yes, your super chat donation won't be helpful today, you know, today, but it will be helpful. So please don't feel like you're doing anybody who sends super chats. You guys, I'm not ungrateful. I'm super grateful. You're taking the time out to throw me 20 bucks, a complete stranger who, you know, you appreciate my content. That's very flattering. That's one of the highest flatter, especially right now with the way the world is. Ain't no one making money, so you're actually willing to give me some of yours. Like that's very, very flattering. If I don't get it today, that doesn't make it less flattering or you less generous. It, you know, just means I don't get it today. But when I do get it, promise you, it'll be helpful. I'll be very grateful that day too. So I get to be grateful twice. I know you're a smart ass. That's okay. You have a whole lake of water. Boil some water. Yeah, I would also need to filter it, especially that lake. Need to filter it and boil it. Filtering it would require sand and charcoal. I mean, I could make a filter. I can't do the charcoal thing because we can't have fires, but there might be some in some old camp, you know, ring or something. But yeah, I would also need to filter. Filter and boil is how you properly clean your water. Think woods will get crowded this weekend? It might. It was pretty crowded last weekend, actually, when I was up there. Couldn't find a campground that was open, but there is plenty of forest to camp in. Plus, I know some free camping right outside of Bend. That's really, they got bathrooms, no garbages, which is pretty inconvenient if you ask me. But they do have bathrooms, which is sweet. Yeah, free camp spot with bathrooms is just, that's choice. But yeah, Central Oregon is a very busy place these days. Lots of people have moved to Bend, and the population has basically quadrupled since I was a kid. Yeah, about quadrupled. It was about 30,000 people when I was here when I was a kid moved here. So yeah, with that means that the nearby forests are busy. So if you go to beautiful areas around here, so is everyone else. Even on the weekdays, it can get kind of unruly. But like that lake I went to, I couldn't find parking there last weekend. But there was plenty during the weekday. The weekday is my favorite time to get out there. Hey, what's up, Charles? How you doing, man? Thanks for coming in. Welcome to live stream. Don't forget to smash that like button, you guys. If you like the live stream, hell, smash the dislike button if you don't. It just, attention is attention. That dislike button actually doesn't hurt my channel or anyone's, unfortunately. Hey, how are things going? Finally had time to catch a stream for a minute. What's up, Mike? How you doing, man? I hope your dad's doing well. I think I saw a post recently about his recovery. So, for those of you who don't know, Mike, I hope you don't mind, but yeah, his father just went through a brain surgery, and he's recovering from that right now. So, let's all, give our thoughts and prayers, and however you feel like you want to honor Mike's dad, but go ahead and send those good vibes that way, because I'm sure Mike and his family could really, really use as much good vibes as they can get. So I'm glad you made it, Mike. Glad you're here and caught a live stream. Zach, I'll take you out after the live stream, okay? Okay? What you think? What do you think, good girl? Thanks, Jeannie. Yeah, Mike, things are going well. As I was telling everyone just a minute ago, I went fishing last couple of days. First day, I got completely skunked at 2 different lakes. Didn't catch a thing. But the second day, dude, man, I felt like a pro fisherman that day. I had like 6 on the hook. One broke my line. The other one broke my line and then flopped out of my hands into the water. And I let one go, kept 3, had to throw 1 out because it had a bunch of lice on it, and got to keep 2 for Zach and I to eat. Man, you had a good meal, huh? You like fish. Yeah, you like fish more than I do. Actually, that's not true. I like fish quite a bit. Thanks, Zig. Been rough, but one day at a time. That's all any of us can do, Mike. I know it's really worrying, but right now the time to worry is when things get worse. As he recovers. Yeah, it's just patience at that point, isn't it? But yeah, I know it's tough, man. Just hang in there, there's really nothing I can say, you guys. Like, there's nothing. When terrible things like this and scary things like this happen, there's no words that'll just take your worry away. Like, they don't make those words. They don't exist. If there was a combination of words put in the right order, that would take that worry away from you, or whatever that feeling that you have is. I would say them right now for you, but they just don't exist. So the one thing I could do is just get more people to be giving you good vibes, and maybe that is helpful. They've actually studied prayer before, and there are studies out there that will confirm that prayer is effective, but only if the person knows that they're being prayed about. Now, I don't know if it's prayer or if it's just thoughts or if it's intention or manifestation, but whatever it is, maybe it's real enough that all of us can send our healing vibes to you and your family, and especially your dad. So that's what I hope to do. She's so damn cute, such a sweet, tough little soul. You know, a lot of people think it's funny you say little soul. A lot of people think she's much bigger in than what she is when they finally see her. But Zag only stands about yay tall, man. She's pretty small. She's 13 pounds. How do fish get lice? Yuck. Yeah, it's a very different lice than what we get. Obviously, it's underwater, but yeah, they get lice too. And it, you know, leaves little red, almost like it almost looks like blood, but it's not blood. It's just like almost like a pimple or a sore on the fish, and they end up with a bunch of little tiny ones. And when you watch my fishing video, I'll show you. I got a good shot of it, so very helpful. And plus, Dad is starting to get his sense of humor back, dude. That's always a good sign. And a lot of us, you know, new men, we cope with terrible things with humor. And so that's really good sign that he's just trying to cope with what he's going through in the healing process. So, yeah, happy to hear he's being his funny self. Probably takes a minute to get back to that because everything's super confusing and, you know, got to relearn some stuff. But that sense of humor, man, that's important. Alpine fish get hookworm too, but those can be cut out and usually just in the gills. Plus, I cut the gills and everything in front of it off. But yeah, hookworms can definitely be a problem. Sea lice are not harmful to humans, but besides causing damage and stress to the fish, lesions caused by even minor infestation can make the catch weird or wild, unremarkable. Yeah, I mean, I know it's not gonna hurt me. I don't even eat the skin anyways, and the skin protects the rest of the fish. That's what the skin's for. But I still threw it out, man. Like, I'm not trying to eat no licey ass fish. But of course, when you cook it, like, it kills everything. But still, like, it looked pretty unhealthy. And I don't know, if I'm gonna kill and eat something, I want it to be healthy. Call me crazy, but I honestly wish that I had noticed it because it was really bad on one side, not the other. I honestly wish I had noticed it when I caught it, but I didn't notice it until I was cleaning it, because I would have just let it go, um, you know, let it live. But, well, maybe it had a miserable life with all that lice, and I put it out of its misery. So I'm trying to justify it. Roughly another 4 weeks before he's completely healed from the surgery and the physical effects that is brain surgery, even if well done, it's still traumatic on the brain and nerves. Of course it is. Yeah, now he's gonna have a TBI. He has a TBI, traumatic brain injury, forever, for life. Which TBIs can come in all sorts of ways, man. It can be just a simple concussion. A lot of people have gotten TBIs and not even realize it, traumatic brain injury, or it could become, a penetration where you got, shot with a bullet or something. Or it could be surgery, or it could, there's a lot of different ways to get. It could be a concussion from a bomb going through and knocking you out. So that's how a lot of soldiers get theirs. Most ocean fish full of radiation and mercury now. Hey, I just got diagnosed with a TBI. Yeah, unfortunately, it seems to be pretty common. And TBI is actually, like, it depends. Like, I knew a guy that got blasted with a bomb real bad, and he seemed fine at first, but at one point he was trying to find the restroom, and from his room to the restroom wasn't very far. It's a pretty common walk for us to do, but he was doing it naked. Like, he didn't realize he was trying to find a shower. He was gonna go take a shower, but he got ready for the shower before he got into the shower and walked to the shower, and we were like, bro, what's the matter? Anyways, that kind of stuff is pretty contagious in war when when shit's not going right. So they medevaced him out of the country. So um, yeah, TBIs can actually like kind of mess you up and make life a little bit more confusing. Thankfully, I don't have to deal with that for my TBIs. It's not. Um, I didn't have those kind of symptoms for mine, so I think mine. I was a bit. I don't know. Had a headache for 3 or 4 days, and also had blown out my eardrum. So, but I felt fine afterwards. And you know what I do think it does affect is I used to be able to explain myself better than I can now, and I notice it. I notice that I can't make the thoughts turn into words as well as I used to be able to, and I think something got jumbled up in that haywire. But I'm not as articulate as I used to be, and it's noticeable to me, anyways. I get like tripped up on my words, which was uncommon for me back in the day. Mike Smith, a sense of humor is definitely needed for healing. Trust me, patience, and love. Yeah, Mike, you're doing great, man. We're all super proud of you, and we're all rooting the best for your dad, that he heals well. Oh, you guys, I forgot to tell you about this. This is gonna be its own video. But like, I was out there fishing. I was literally by myself, sitting in my folding chair, fishing pole in front of me, Zag hooked to me, backpack in front of me, you know, and no one around me. It was a weekday, so the lake was fairly empty. There were some families vacationing and out there on their kayaks and paddleboards, but for the most part, I was all by myself. There wasn't a soul around me for 200 meters, and it was quiet and it was nice, and I was fishing, and I don't know why, but maybe something caught my attention off to the left. But I look over and I see this old man, probably 80 something years old, walking directly. He's like almost on me, but walking directly towards me, and he's almost there. He's within earshot. And then so I greeted him, and he's like, "How's the fishing?" And told him I haven't got anything yet. This is my first day out there. I haven't caught anything yet. And then, man, he proceeds to tell me that he lost his wife 2 years ago, and it's hard for him to be up there at that lake because the last time he was there was with her, and they were married for 53 years. Her name was Sandra, his name was Bill. I was like, he just started telling me this sad story of how it's hard for him to be up there, and I'm like, would you like to sit down and have a conversation with me? He just seemed like he really wanted to tell his story to someone, because he just came right out with it. Asked me how the fishing was, told me he was sad and lonely. And by the time he left, man, I was kind of in tears, because he was just a beautiful story. This 80-year-old man, trying to get, he's like, my kids tell me I need to get out of the house. What would she have wanted you to do? What would she have wanted you to do? So now I'm out here, and I got his phone number, actually, and I invited him out fishing with me. I was like, tell you what, next time I go out fishing, I'm gonna invite you out, Bill. And I'm like, he's like, I might come and hang out with you for a little bit. And I'm like, I would really enjoy that. So he just seemed like a little lonely old man that needed, he lost his wife and wanted to talk to someone. I think he really just needed to chat with somebody, and he needed to tell his story about how sad he was. And he's from a generation that you don't go to therapy, you talk to your buddies. And I don't think he had any buddies, so like, honestly, I teared the fuck up. Like, the camera was facing the lake the whole time. I didn't want to move the camera and aim it at him. It would have been kind of intrusive, but I told him I was filming for my YouTube. But I did catch a video of him walking away, as he was walking away, to maintain his privacy and to, catch a little bit of footage. But I would really, really, like, right now I'm completely out of money. I don't even know how I'm gonna survive for the next week. But when I do get paid, I'm gonna call him up and invite him back out to go fishing. He said he might not fish, that he might just hang out for a little bit. And I told him if he gets his fishing license, either way, and if he doesn't, that's fine. But I'm gonna try to invite him out and see if he wouldn't let me introduce him to you guys. And maybe get his address. Maybe some of you guys would like to send him a letter or something. Let him know that, he's lonely but not alone. I don't know. Maybe we could do something for him. this guy just walked right up to me, man, like, and like out of the blue. I don't know. It seemed really powerful. Like, it seemed really powerful to me. Like synchronicity, or like, I don't know if there's a god, but maybe the universe put him in front of me for some reason, because he like beeline towards this guy that was fishing by himself out on the water, no one else around, and wanted to ask about fishing. I think he just wanted to have a chat with someone, but I think why he wanted to have a chat with someone took over and told me why he was there, and that he was just lonely, and I told him it's okay to be lonely, and that he kept saying, like, what did he say? He was like, my kids keep reminding me, what would she have wanted, what would she have wanted, and she wouldn't want me just sitting at the house crying all day. And I'm like, that's true, Bill, but I'm like, you don't want to be doing that either. Like, you don't want to be sitting at the house crying all day either. And I'm like, but don't feel bad. Like, I was like, there's no time limit for grieving. You take as much time as you need. You don't have to rush through it. Um, there's no time limit. You're doing great. That's before he left. I told him things were gonna get better, and man, he told me his life story about his kids, and all within a really short, maybe 20-minute conversation. Where I just, a lot of times just let him rattle and watch my pole and look at him and watch my pole. Anyways, that's what I caught that day. I caught a little bit of emotions. Honestly, like I straight teared the fuck up a couple times. It was just a super sad story. I mean, a guy got a lot of comments to catch up on. Took in pictures of the cats out, up in his room. He laughed and said, I guess I'm having a cat scan now. Comes from leaving Babylon. Hung up in his room. Oh, I see, yeah, cat scan hung up in his room. Hey, what's up, Aaron? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. How y'all doing? Hey, thanks for at least giving him the time of day. Some people wouldn't even do that. I doubt I'll make it to 80 years old, but if I do, like, I know what loneliness feels like, you guys. So even at my age, like, I know that hurts sometimes to the bone. Like, that's a feeling that's just not a casual feeling, is it? Loneliness. So if I was 80 years old, you're not going to be around very much longer. You're probably kind of hoping that you're not. And like, this guy in the last years of his life just walked up to me. Like, what was I going to tell him to fuck off? No, dude. Like, that would be heartless. Like, the guy was very nice, very kind. You'll hear the conversation. I'm gonna post the video. You'll be seeing the lake. You'll be seeing a lake, and then maybe I'll throw subtitles in there so you can hear it well. But what I captured seems to be the audio is okay. That's why I'm here. Because you're lonely? Took me a second to process what you were saying. Hey, I think that everyone has those moments where they're lonely. That's the thing. I feel like I've been lonely for a long time, though, at this point. Hey, thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. It's a different kind of loneliness when it's, I don't have a partner, so it's a different kind of loneliness. But I do have a lot of great friends. I got great people. I surround myself with really good people, you guys. Like, I intentionally surround myself with good people. So, I do have amazing people in my life who are very supportive, and I can reach out to when I'm feeling blue or whatever. But, it's a different kind of loneliness when it's a partner. I'm sure that a lot of people have spent some time single. This is probably the longest I've been single in my whole life, so since I started dating. You know, and I'm sitting here complaining. Okay, I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm sitting here complaining about. I honestly haven't been eating very good. That fish was like the best meal I've had in a week, but I did splurge with the last little bit of money. These were on sale for $5. I regret nothing. I didn't have any sweets in my life, so I regret nothing. And this was bought for me, don't forget. A friend of mine drinks the same ones. Damn, 21 likes and 20 people in here. Those are good odds right there. I like it. I love that this chair spins around. Like, it turns my van into a living room, and it makes it feel more like a house than a vehicle sometimes. The other one spins around too, but I'm moving around too much to make that make sense. If I had an e-bike though, this van would be mostly stationary, awning out, and I just ride the e-bike into town. But God, they're so expensive, man. Like, all the coolest stuff that's super useful for van life is ridiculous. Camped once a month many years with a group site. From March to September, after I lost my wife to cancer, I forced myself to go to every camp out following, only made it to a few, couldn't do it. Oh, you lost your wife too, man, to cancer. That's how Bill lost his. You know, fuck. It's awful. It's awful. You know, none of us are gonna make it out alive. We all know that. And then when you fall in love with someone, spend a lot of years with them, it's very rare that partners die together. So usually just one goes first and the other one's left behind. I don't know. I hope that if that ever happens and I go first, and if I have a partner, she's left behind, I hope that she can grieve, get over it, and fall in love again. Like, I wouldn't want that. But I'm sure whoever ends up with me is gonna have no problem getting over my death. Oh, that was a little self-loathing. Sorry, guys. I don't usually do that. I just thought it was funny. What's up, Ken? How you doing, man? How you been? I have a funny story I will send you on Facebook. Zig, something my dad said. All right, cool. I look forward to it. Now that we got you guys mostly all here, what are you guys smoking on right now? What you burning on? I've actually only got a couple of bowls left. I'm not doing well. I'm end of the month, man, and I would be fine. But driving up here took so much gas that, yeah, just took the bulk of my money this month. Traveling is expensive. Loss is a part of life, but a good community helps. I'm sorry for all your losses, but appreciate y'all are here. Yeah, everyone's experienced some loss. You know, we've all been through the ringer of this thing called life. Hey, take care, Mike. Good to see you again, man. Don't be a stranger. I'm always here too, dude. Hi, my 31-year-old son and daughter has an electric skateboard. It was fun watching him zoom around, and I was scared to ride it. Sorry about your friend. He wasn't my friend. I just met this old man. He just walked right up to me, but I will be posting that video so you guys can get more context. But dude, I've even looked into those electric scooters because I have this drone right here, and it's enormous. To live in a van with this drone, it's just gigantic, and it's not very van life friendly. So I've been trying to sell it, and at one point I was messaging people saying, hey, you want to trade a drone for your e-bike? Hey, you want to trade a drone for your e-bike? I must have messaged 200 people. All of them said no. And so I got the idea, like, maybe an electric skateboard. All right. The drone's worth more than an electric skateboard, I think, but they all said no too. So I guess I wouldn't say no to an electric skateboard, but that would only really work for me if I'm in a city. They're kind of useless when you're out in the desert or out in the forest, but unless it has those dirt tires on it. But electric bike, I feel it's safer first of all, and I'm more practical for my life. A skateboard would probably pack better than a bike, but a bike I can put on a back rack also. Dog Beach, 21.5%. Oh, nice. This is the last stuff I got. Jelly Breath. This was the stuff I was telling you, 29%. It was $15 for a pack of pre-rolls. That was the last stuff I had, but I didn't actually like it. Excuse me, I didn't like it that much. And I'm out of it, so I'm actually putting roaches into this, and even my roaches are getting pretty low. Actually, like a whole bunch of empty ones here. Oh, that one's not empty. Nice. A one wheel, dude. I saw somebody eat shit so hard on a one wheel, made hard enough to make me afraid of them. But they can get around. It's true. They really can scoot. Let's see. Smoking on some animal mints. Nice. Dude, use your drone. Those look like fun. I have actually, Jeannie, I have flown my drone, but technically I need a license to fly it because of the size of it. And then to use the footage I get on a monetized YouTube, I have to get a second commercialized license. So there's 2 licensing I need to get in order to use this drone the way I want. And that's a lot of money, actually. I'm sure it's not easy or not hard to get. Fucking Dave Lowe has one, and so I'm sure I could. Sorry, Dave. In any case, I don't have the licensing nor the money for it, but I have this very nice, beautiful, expensive drone here, and I have things in my life that I could use more than a drone. Does that make sense? Like, it's more practical. My YouTube channel, as much as I enjoy filming and stuff, I can't really invest a whole bunch of money into it because it's not returning a whole bunch of money. But I could use an e-bike, and I can get footage on an e-bike just as easily as I could a drone. But I have flown it. It is fun. I do really, it is a lot of fun to fly. Good, you probably won't remember this, but we met at the gas station in Island about a year ago. You were pulling out, and I just got there and had a red bravado. I said, I follow you. That's only ever happened to me once, bro, at that gas station. So, yeah, I remember that happening for sure. You know, it's not obviously like most of the people who recognize me from my YouTube know me before my YouTube, you know, like, oh, I saw that video you did or whatever, people I know. So it actually doesn't happen very often where someone's like, bro, I follow you, you know, and I like your shit and I've never met you. Maybe a handful of times. You know, most of the time it's people coming to the Ponderosa and meeting me there. And but outside of the Ponderosa, it's only ever happened maybe 3 or 4 times, actually. Happened to me in San Diego, happened to me in Long Beach twice, actually, both times from locals there in Long Beach, and then you at the gas station that day. I think that was the first time that it ever happened, as a matter of fact, because my YouTube was kind of new, more or less, like right after the spider video. They may not, they might make a backpack for Zag to ride in. Not sure. If it was an e-bike, I could just throw a basket on it. She would cruise. I use my e-bike on all terrains. Fat tire for the win. Yeah, dude, I like your e-bike. I would actually like one like yours. You're vaping watermelons. Z. Oh, you're almost out too. Yeah, me too. Damn, under the bus. Yeah, you caught that, huh? I got a lot to catch up on here, guys. So let me. Oh no, I don't. No, I don't. There it is. We're done. Happy rides in a basket on your e-bike. Yeah, they do make backpacks that Zag would ride in. I think that she might hate that. Like, I could put her on one of those baby packs and have her like sticking out and shit. She might not hate that. I'm not really sure. But with her latest hip issues, you know, like her backside's still kind of tender. Like, I think that she's just developing hip issues and that injury. Maybe the injury's still healing. Maybe it's a thing now that she's gonna have to deal with. But when I touch her on the back, she flinches a little bit, which is new. She never did that before. She's running around. She's getting in and out of the van, you know, a little slower as the years progress, but she's still able to get in and out of the van on her own. For a couple of days there, she couldn't, and but she seems to be back to her normal self, I'd say. Besides maybe some little discomfort in her butt side. You made your basket from slab trash. Yeah, I remember that. You were pretty proud of that basket you built. I remember. Let's see how much flour is left in this. It looks like a lot of ash, actually. I have a Coleman 12-volt fridge. You can have. Just don't feel like traveling today. Thunder woke me up at 3 a.m. Didn't get back to sleep. That's a shitty way to wake up, dude. Yeah, that would be really helpful. Actually, Coleman, I think that's the one that I had that broke. Now, does yours have a? Does it have the 12-volt DC plug, or does it have the 110 like you plug into the wall outlet plug? Curious. Our dog has a backpack. I think if I put a backpack on Zag, it wouldn't be much of a backpack. But I could train her to hang on to the stolen lighters I get. Yeah, I chew my nails. Don't judge me. Actually, this spot where I'm parked is a great spot to get solar. My solar, last 2 days, like, I've gotten it above 50% finally. It spent like a whole day below 50%. And that was, you're not supposed to get these batteries below 50%. But it didn't recharge because it was so smoky and cloudy. And that one camp spot I showed you guys, I was parked in the woods and had too much shadow over it. And once I got it above, now it's like 12.5. But once I got it above, 50%, I haven't touched it. I haven't turned it on. I'm just letting it charge. I haven't used my power, my solar power in the last, maybe, I'd say 3 days. I've been charging off the dash when I drive. And thankfully, it's an always-on outlet, so I don't have to have the van running. And if I kill it, I've got 2 jump packs here, so be able to bail myself out. Y'all, your dog's 1 year old. Only have the SIG cord. It's actually hot or cold, depends on the way you hook up. Yeah, you plug it in. But is it the 12-volt cigarette outlet plug, or do you plug it? Can you plug it into the wall too? I'm curious. But yeah, I know mine did the same thing. When you flipped it around, it would be hot, or you turn it around, it would make it cold. Yeah. I'm familiar. I think we might have had the same damn fridge. I got it for like $50 off of Facebook Marketplace in New Mexico. It was used. I had it for 2 years. Left it behind in California, and the dude Chuck that I left it with apparently fixed it. So when I get back there, maybe I could recover that one. And if not, then I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be a minute till I get there, and it's very inconvenient to not have a fridge. And but it was a cord apparently that crapped out on me. So got my girl a pair of saddlebags too. She carries her own poop bags. She doesn't like it. I don't think Zag would like. Well, she might. She actually does wear clothes. Like, she does have a coat that she wears, a jean coat with like red plaid lining in it and a little hood that she can put on and off. T rides in the backpack with her head poking out. People are always like, "Is that a dog?" Only the 12-volt cord. I see. Yeah, I'll have to install a 12-volt outlet then for it to plug it into my solar, because my solar currently only has the 110. I hope she is used to it and doesn't mind too much. Yeah, I've been putting Zag on since she was a little one. And you just named my rig the Wiener Wagon. That's appropriate. You should you should totally put wheels on your tattoo, like a covered Wiener Wagon. Then you can get some Vienna sausages and hook them in tandem, and they're pulling the Wiener Wagon. Like the it's not the Oregon Trail, it's the Wiener Trail. I gotta be honest with you, I would show you guys my house right now, but since I've been camping and I packed up kind of quickly, it's a bit of a mess. So I'm not gonna show you. Oh, Zach, you need some water? Here's your water, girl. Here's your water, good girl. My dog has a car jacket for winter. I think I have female sockets too. That'd be dope, yeah. I think I have some fuses, so that could work out. I'd have to just put, fuse on there. Wiener Trail needs antibiotics. I'm pretty sure those didn't exist back then, bro. You're just screwed. My girl is 9, and I've given her positive reinforcement. She was little, and she wears it. She doesn't like it, but she's food motivated. Zag is food and praise motivated, but it used to be just praise. Now she's kind of digging the food shit. Come on, go lay down. I'll take you out after the stream, sweetheart. I'm gathering solar components. I have a 100-watt panel, battery isolator, need control panel, and deep cycle battery to run mini fridge. Any suggestions on what else I would need? So when you say you have a battery isolator, are you talking about a charge controller or a battery isolator? Because those are technically different things. Zach, go ahead down. What you're looking for is a charge controller. So if you've got your panels, right? And you got your battery bank, right? And what happens when it's, Zach, go lay down. What happens when it's sunny and your batteries are full? So what you want is a charge controller. Now the charge controller goes in between your panels and your batteries. And what it does is it does two things. One, it auto detects what type of batteries you have, whether they're flooded, whether they're AGMs, whether they're gels, whether they're lithium ion, and then it gives you the proper voltage based on the type of battery it is. And then it also turns off of the power when the sun's out and the batteries are full. It shuts the power down and it float charges your batteries, so that way your battery doesn't overcharge and explode. So you don't just want a battery isolator, because that's primarily what you would put in between, let's say, your starter battery and your house battery. That's a DC to DC charger. But your panels, I'm not sure what voltage they are, but not all panels are 12 volts. So if you just have a battery isolator in between your panels and your batteries being 12 volts, and maybe your panels are 18 volts, maybe they're 24 volts, I'm not really sure, but you could seriously damage your batteries, start a fire. You really do want to get a charge controller in between the panel and the battery, not just a battery isolator. And then you're going to want to make sure that you also use the right size cords, which you can look on YouTube, and there's a guy, I forget his name, but he explains very easily to figure out, the gauge of wires that you need. Personally, I have 10 gauge. Are they 10? Maybe 12. I think they're 10 gauge. Both would work between my panels and my charge controller, and from my charge controller to the batteries. But from the batteries to an inverter, which you'll also want to get an inverter, you're going to want thicker cables, because you're drawing so much energy and the panels aren't giving you that much, so you can get away with thinner wires. And then you're also going to need the right size fuses, which again, you'll use Ohm's law. Ohm's law is an equation that is pretty easy to figure out. basic algebra, plug and play. You know your voltage, you know your amperage, or you might not know your amperage, but you know your voltage, you know your wattage, because it gives you that on the panel, so you can figure out your amperage, and then boom, that's the amperage of fuse that you want. But you could really damage those batteries. So I would highly recommend using a charge controller in between your battery and your, yeah, Dave's right too. We both made it. I'm pretty sure Dave hooked his own solar system up too, just like I did. So this is from some experience. A solar charge controller, they're not that expensive, bro. They're really cheap, a cheap way to protect your batteries. Technically, if it's a 12-volt panel and you have 12-volt batteries, technically you can wire straight into the battery, but it's bad idea. You don't know how much charge that battery has. Even a voltmeter, if you hook the panels up to it, a voltmeter will just tell you how much the panels are putting into it. It won't actually tell you how full it is. So you got to be very careful. Charge controller it's basically an automatic switch with a brain, if that makes sense. So yeah, battery isolator I used on my first van, and because I wired the the my house battery, my deep cycle battery, straight into the alternator, and in between them I used a battery isolator, and that's what they're for. That's a good use for them. But definitely wouldn't do that in between a panel and a charge controller, or I'm sorry, a panel and a battery, because the battery could get damaged. I would definitely use a charge controller. And PPT charge controller is the top of the line. They're super efficient, way more. I don't have an MPPT. Wish I did, but I don't. I have a PNW, which are less efficient, but they're both better options than a DC to D, or I'm sorry, than a battery isolator. They're both better options. Also, I don't know what your battery bank looks like, but you don't want to be putting flooded, like lead acid batteries in with lithium ion and shell. You don't want to mix the chemistries of your battery bank. If you're using AGMs, use AGMs. If you're using lithium ion, use all lithium ion. And even not all those are created equal too. So you got to make sure the chemistry is right, the cell count's right, all that stuff. And if you don't know, then just buy the same battery. That's probably your safest move. Yeah, 12-volt panels peak, it will push 18 volts if left unchecked. And the charge controller in between your battery and your panel will regulate that voltage, so your batteries won't get damaged. Okay, I know any controller have 4-gauge wire. That's pretty thick. 2,000-watt inverter, and panel is a 100-watt Thunderbolt. Thanks for the info, David. The inverter is a sine wave. It's sine wave, pure sine wave. They have two different kinds. They got what is it, modified sine wave and pure sine wave. I don't know enough about the modified sine wave to give you any information about its effectiveness, but it kind of worries me that it's a modified sine wave. I just go for pure sine wave. I know that's the safest way to charge your electronics, like your phone, your laptop, anything with an external battery. That's gonna be your safest way to do it. Yeah, Renergy is what I use. Renergy's dope. I have Renergy system. My inverter is Renergy. My charge controller is Renergy. My panels and batteries. One of my batteries is my panel is not Renergy, and then another one of my batteries is another brand, but it's made exactly the same way as Renergy battery is. Yeah. Anything. Yeah. Pure sine wave. That's good. Yeah. You sound like you're on the right track. You need a charge controller. You know that. There's I really wish I could remember this guy's YouTube, but there's this dude on YouTube out there. He's got a pretty popular solar channel, and he explains it really, really well. And then he also has it out there. He's installed a solar system on basically like a cork board, so you can really see how he has it built. And then you can modify it to your vehicle or your house or whatever you're going to install solar onto. You just have to, put those components in your house how you see fit. But you can see the order and why everything, why he has you put this there in that spot where, and like Dave was talking about circuit breakers, talking about fuses. You know, I don't have circuit breakers in my system because it's a very simple system. But I do have fuses, you know, and like, what size fuses do you need? He explains all that. He explains Ohm's law really well. I would definitely recommend him if I could tell you what his freaking channel was. But yeah, he's got great information. Whoever the hell he is. Run 2 circuit breakers. Yeah, I got fuses. I don't have circuit breakers. My system is a full Renogy 400 watts, 200 amp hour lithium ion, LiFePO 4 circuit breakers, and 60 amp charge controller. Yeah, see, I got 250 watts. I got 200 amp hours of AGMs. I have a 30 amp charge controller and a 2000 watt pure sine wave inverter. Just installed 140 volt alternator, lifetime warranty. Will the Nevada Solar do? Is that who it is? I don't know. Yeah, it's not. Even if you said his channel, it's not gonna ring a bell because I just watched his videos. I don't even know if I subscribed to him, but I should have. You know, shared it to my community page or something. 1887 Coleman pop-up camper is. I think you meant 1987, but Coleman pop-up camper is what I have. It's in the shop getting the lift cable replaced. Like an 1887 Coleman pop-up trailer. You got oxen sold separately. 3,000 all self-installed. Yeah, see, Dave's, you spend a lot more. And lithium ions are hands down much better than what I have. Also, he charges his batteries much faster than I do. And he probably has monocrystal panel instead of polycrystal panel. So yeah, $3,000 versus mine, which I think I spent less than $1,000 on mine. So, you know, you do get what you pay for. Yes, 1987. My 1887 pop-up wagon. Complete with its own snake oil kit. 40 amp, yeah, I have a 30 amp PNW. I don't have the MPPT. So if anyone wants to throw some dollars my way for me to upgrade my charge controller, that would be dope. Self-heating Bluetooth battery. Self-healing, right? Self-heating. I do have Bluetooth in my charge controller. What I do want to add, I want to add a shunt in between my inverter and my batteries, and I want to add a shunt in between my charge controller and my batteries, so I can see those measurements going in and out. 1887 was a good year, goddammit. Yep, 1887. Ding. Back when my grandpappy came from Virginia, fought in that big old war they had over there, fighting his brothers down south or some such. I guess they didn't want to. I'm gonna stop before I get canceled. Okay. Heating when the battery gets 58 degrees, it warms itself to 65. Okay. Mine measures in Celsius, and it tells me the temperature on my charge controller of the batteries, but a little Bluetooth module that Renogy has. Oh, I forgot about this. Dude, I found this out in the woods, bro. This is some Nomad's water bottle. It has a Joshua Tree sticker on it. That's Arizona somewhere. Zion, Utah. Washington State. Proud to work in Oregon cannabis. Freshie. What is that? Some co-op 80 years. Banff, Canada. Was that South Oaks, maybe? I don't know. So if anyone knows the Nomad that owns this, I have it. I found it out in the woods. It's still got the water in it. I didn't even take that from you. Okay, it was just laying there by the camp spot that I found. It was actually a pretty sweet camp spot. You'll see how I found this on one of my upcoming videos. But you know what? They did stickers on their water bottle just like mine. Not just like mine, but this is one of my water bottles, and I got it covered in stickers. It's even got some cool little sunglasses to hang, you know, Carpe diem. Seize the day. Hike more. Worry less. But this one I haven't covered in stickers. I've had actually this one for a very long time. Yeah. Hydro Flask. That's a good shit. This other one I got from Walmart. And one of the bottle kids was with me, and I got her one of her own too. Lithium can't get below temp or winter charge have self-heating now. I see. Yeah, they do better, and they don't do very good in the cold, right? I think that 100-watt will charge 2 batteries. Yeah, it'll do it. It'll just do it real slow. 100-watt panel, and I don't know if it's a mono or polycrystalline panels, but mono's better. In any case, I don't have mono either. I've got a cheap panel. But it'll charge it. It'll just do it very, very slowly. And if you're using the power at the same time, yeah, unless very unlikely, you'll charge it. So if you want it to charge, you're gonna have to turn your system off for like a day or two, maybe more, for 200 amp hours. You're gonna want more panels. In fact, I have 250 watts, and I still need more. So I had another one, and I'm kind of a dummy, and I thought it would work for my system, but it didn't. So I paid it forward to someone who it did work for their system, and yeah, I need more wattage. But I do all right. I honestly do. If there's sun, I'm doing okay with 250 watts. More would just be more convenient. But if it's sunny, I'm doing okay. What would be nice if I had a monocrystalline panel up there? I use 300 watts to run fans at 14.4 float all day, and long in the sun, 0 drain on the system. Yeah, fans don't take very much. My fan does because it's a 110, but I don't even think it takes 300 watts, but I mean, you mean 300 watt hours? Or you use 300? Anyways, you're just not using more power than you're putting into it, I assume. Oh, your panels are probably also, okay. Yeah, you'd have to make, because I'm assuming you have room for one more panel, but the cell that you would have to make, you'd have to match it like a 24 volt and then 2 12s or something. I carry 100 foldable to drag into the sun when I park in the shade a long time. I do have a foldable, as a matter of fact, and I could. I don't have. Do I have the wires? I could. Not really. I don't have long enough wires. I'd have to make a wire thing for it to reach that far. But I could probably pull that off once I got the wires and then those. I forgot what the clips are called. Everyone always knows the name of the clips, but I always forget the name of the clips. But I just have to throw those on there. Your hurricane fan drains batteries. Amperage limit. It took me a second. Oh yeah, amperage limit. Control will take up to 100 volts, but only 60 amps. Oh, okay, so you gotta limit your amperage. Yeah. Or get a better controller. Upgrade your controller. Not that you don't have a bad one. I'll take your old one, bro. Do you have your batteries in parallel or series? They're 12 volts still, or did you wire them to 24 volts and increase your voltage? Because I know some people with 24 volt battery systems running mini split air conditioners. Of course, I think they have more storage, energy storage, and panels than either of us do. But they're doing it off a 24 volt system. We got into the chat of solar here. Everyone got quiet. always worried about running into someone I know. It's when someone calls me either Jimmy or they call me Sehorn that I'm like, oh, fuck. Amperage limit, yeah. So 24 volts is fine. 2 100 amp hour batteries in parallel, 12 volts, 200 amps, yeah. I'm hoping to upgrade my solar as I go. I'm honestly super stoked to have the solar panel I have, or the solar system that I have. This is, piecing it together you saw me piecing it together over that summer, or that winter. I always confuse, I call it summer down there, but it took me a while to get everything together. And finally, when I had everything together, I'm like, all right, I'm putting it on. And it's running great. It really is running great. I love that I have 200 amp hours. And the sun hasn't been cooperating last few days, so I've been letting it charge, but that's okay. That's life, van life. I haven't really been able to use power the last couple of days. My server hasn't been on. I haven't been watching TV on anything but my phone and a tablet. So using the hell out of that tablet though. Run AC on 24 volt and fridge and other stuff off your 12 volt. Yeah, your charge controller, or I'm sorry, your inverter will put it back into like 110. But 24 volts more efficient, and you don't have to use, if it's a 24 volt system, your wires can be thinner. You don't have to use as thick of wires. So, I mean, you will on the batteries, but after like drawing the power from it, since 12 volt, requires thicker cables. The higher voltage, the thinner your battery or your cable. The cables you can get away with. Yeah, I really like Brenergy stuff. They're pretty solid. I don't like the app. I know we've talked about this, but I don't like their app to monitor your solar. I have to re-add my device every single time I open the app. I have to add the device that I'm using. The only one that I've ever added to it, and I've got to re-add it it's quite annoying. It doesn't just monitor the system. It's not a consistent monitoring system. It shows me what it has. It'll monitor it while it's up, but eventually it'll time out, and I've got to force close the app and then reopen it and re-add the device, and then it'll tell me. It's just silly. I don't know why you love the app, but read the ratings that app has. I'm not the only person that's dealing with the same issue, thankfully. It's not just me, but so I need 24 volt inverter output, 12 volt power, or 24. So your inverter won't do 24 volt output. It doesn't have anything to do. It changes it to a alternating current. Your inverter will change it from alternating current to direct current, or I'm sorry, from direct current to alternating current, 110 AC. No, your Rover will do the 24 volt, or 24 input, 12 volt output. Yeah. Your charge controller will most likely do 24 and 12. Mine, first one I had didn't, which was the problem I had with it. It would only do 12 volts. So you got to make sure that you get in the right charge controller if you're going to do a 12 volt system. You're also going to want to make sure you get the right inverter if you're going to do a 12 volt system. My inverter only does 12 volts. So if I was to put my batteries and make a 24 volt cell, my inverter would not like that whatsoever. It would blow my fuse immediately. So you're going to want to make sure that you get an inverter that can be set up for 24 volts. And they do have them. They're usually a little more serious inverters. I think I saw most of them are 3,000 watt inverters for 24 volt systems, but I have no doubts that they make lower wattage inverters for 24 volt systems. But most people who are using 24 volt systems are also using a whole bunch of appliances that take a lot of wattage. So for me, in my needs, I'm not running any high energy appliances, so 12 volts is, or my 2,000 watts is fine. Yep, make sure you use the breaker. If you're gonna have a breaker, make sure it's rated for 24 volts. not 12. Yeah, like electronics gets kind of weird, but you got to make sure everything's compatible. For me, like for just simple sake, 12 volts is what I tend to stick everything to. But you can go to 36 volts, 48 volts. You can do it. You can wire it however you want if you've got the coin. But the cheapest route, which is always what I'm trying to do, is cut the price as much as I can because I'm poor. 12 volts is the way I went. Well, I get it now. Battery goes through the controller, yet they have 24-volt inverters. What output is the 12 or 24? Well, the inverter is gonna switch it from DC to AC. So the output could be anything from 500 watts to 3,000 watts. Like that just depends on the one you buy. But you got to make sure it's compatible with a 24-volt system if you're going to have one. Pretty much all of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are compatible with 12 volt. That's the most common one on the market. But if you're going to have a 24-volt system, you're going to want to make sure that you have a 24-volt inverter and that your charge controller is also compatible with 24 volts and that your breaker is compatible with 24 volts. 50 amp circuit breaker before battery and controller. Yeah, right? Well, 50 amps, it just depends on how many amps you're putting in there. It might be less, might be more. Like I said, mine's a 30 amp, so. Yeah. Your controller's 40 amps, then you don't want 50 amps in there. It will be ineffective. It'll let more amperage through than you want it to let through. Yeah, if you want a 24-volt system, what you will lose is amperage. So if you have two 12-volt batteries and you wire them in to become 24 volts, they're still just 100 amp hours, but it's a 24-volt system. If you want to increase basically how long you can use it for, though, I mean, it's more efficient. 24 volts, 100 amp hours is going to be more efficient than 12 volts, 100 amp hours, but it's still, you're not increasing the amount of storage you have. You're just decreasing the resistance, basically. You're increasing the voltage. So, what I did with mine is I wired it in two 12 volts and I wired them in to become 200 watts of not 200 amp hours. So I had more energy storage. I could use my energy system longer. So I had 60 amp between controller panel. I have 60 amp and 75 amp break between battery and controller. See, yeah, you got way bigger breakers or way bigger fuses than I have. So yeah, I have a fuse in between the panel and the charge controller, between the charge controller and the battery, and between the battery and the inverter. 3 fuses on my system. Some people have more. Some people add fuses fucking everywhere, but in between each battery, in between each, what I would like to add, by the way, is not just a shunt in between my charge controller and my battery so I can monitor the input and output, but also a battery isolator switch, just a switch in between the inverter and the battery so I could turn the power to the battery off or the inverter off from there. Yeah, exactly. Quick disconnect. That's basically what that switch is. It would just disconnect the inverter from the battery for just a little more safety. Circuit breaker or fuse better. I have fuses. I don't have a breaker. Some people like breakers. Some people, you can do both. But yeah, I mean, it's up to you. The breaker means you can just manually reset it, and the fuse means you got to replace the part. So. They trip if I arch the post. Oh, I see what you're saying. Arc. Yeah, the bigger fuses are. That's true. They are expensive, and like I said, the circuit breaker you can manually. But they actually have a. I saw this recently, and I haven't tested it out, but I have it in my shopping cart on Amazon. But it's a fuse that's you can self reset. It's like a what are those things on light switches? Like a little breaker built into the light switch. It's just a fuse that you can push to reset. So basically a breaker fuse thing inline, so you can cut your wire and just put it on both sides and then clamp it in. Boom, done. Yeah, I have them on my wish list, but I haven't, or not my wish list, but my shopping cart, but I haven't gotten them yet. Yeah, do you have your inverter grounded, Dave? I think I'm supposed to, but I don't. I don't have my inverter grounded. But thankfully, I'm not getting like shocked by anything. That's a circuit breaker. I know it is. It technically is, but it says fuse on the damn thing, so I really like it. It's probably just a miniature breaker. Hey, what's up, Shed Gang? What's up, dude? How you doing? You've been following my TikTok, bro. Man, I have stirred up a hornet's nest sometimes on that thing. I'm a little more controversial over there than I am here. I just ask thought-provoking and triggering questions over there sometimes, and it freaks people out. So it's been fun to see the responses. You direct ground your camper. What do you have, like a rod that you like a ground rod that you, when you stop, you put it in? TikTok blocked you a lot. I think I did violate a community standard or two, but they haven't blocked me yet. Tent stake and 8-gauge wire to the earth. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's not a bad idea. Then you have like a ground bolt or something that you're hooking it to. Yeah, forget that road 100 times. You guys got me for about another 8 minutes or so. Don't forget, if you got the coin to spare, hit me up. I got Cashapp, Venmo, PayPal. I got, a week until payday, so it would be very, very appreciated. I'm basically broke right now, so I think I got, maybe $4 in my account. So we should be grounding ourselves while sleeping too. Yeah, I've heard some people say to like take your shoes off more often and like ground yourself with earth. I guess I do that enough, really. Like, I mean, I got flip flops on most of the time if the weather permits, so I'm usually touching the ground. Also could save my life if lightning hits a tree. I'm boondocked under. Yeah. So it could not being grounded though. Like, you're in the vehicle, so you're safe because it's rubber tires. But both work. Being grounded so the energy has somewhere to go. Oh man, see, I just kicked Zag's water dish. Now my foot's soaking wet. Sorry, pup. Where'd you go? I think she's hiding behind the chair. Good to see you, Jeffro. Welcome to the chat, bro. How you doing? And I also have a merch store now, guys. I don't know if anyone's checked it out. Who's checked it out? Some people have bought some stuff on it. I'm very grateful for you guys. But if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's a cool spot. I get a little cut of the sales. So yeah, at least you get some merch out of it. Then you could be like, this nomadic zig. I follow him on YouTube. I don't have my truck hooked to camper, only tow lights. Oh yeah, that's fair. So just like eject your lightning bolt would just eject your house off of the back of the truck. I need a sticker, but won't be at a DDY long enough. I don't know what you're trying to say. I need a sticker. I mean, oh, yeah, my merch shop has stickers. Oh, yeah, God, I'm slow sometimes. This is what I'm like when I don't have very much weed. Yeah, dude. The stickers, they're die cut stickers, so they actually cut to shape and stuff. I don't know the quality of them. I have only ever seen the mug that that is in my merch shop. I haven't seen any of the other merch. And right now, I really don't have an address to. I really don't have an address to like get a merch or to have anyone send one to me. So don't blame the weed for being a dumbass. Why not? I just did. Hey Miku, how are you? Good to see you. Your merch is cool. I like the sticker. Yeah, Jeannie, you did send me the pictures, huh? I'm glad you like the sticker. Where'd you put it? Where'd you put the sticker? You're like the first person to be able to tell me. Have you stuck it onto anything yet? I swear to God, if you tell me you put it on your battery operated Brad Pitt, then I'm gonna send you another sticker. Yeah, you got stickers too, Dave. Where'd you put your sticker? I can do general delivery. That's true. Yep. Um, I do have some, friends that I've met out here that are van lifing, who have a UPS box. So I'm not sure if they let me use it or not, but I'm really not going to be in the area for, another 2 weeks, and then I'm out of here anyways. It's really difficult to be sending packages while I'm traveling. So, do the best you can with what you got, you guys. I'm on the move in a couple of days. Ken then off to festival for 7 days. Nobody's telling me where they put their stickers. Why not? Where'd you put your sticker? You stuck it onto something. Where'd you stick it? Where'd you stick it? I got a travel case on my car roof. Nice. That's where it is. That's a good spot for it. I like that. I'm going to be picturing that. What kind of car? At the post office. Yeah. Do general delivery at any post office. You work festivals or just indulge, Dave? Dave indulges. He's been to a lot of concerts, dude. Actually, I have a very good friend of mine who does festivals. That's the friend that's coming out here to visit me. But Dave, that man goes to more concerts than I'm comfortable going to, which, I'm not really comfortable with crowds. But, I just live vicariously through Dave's adventures. Who wants Dave to start a YouTube channel, you guys? He does a lot of traveling, too. I'm not the only one. Blue Ridge, that's really pretty out there, too, Dave. I'm sure you know, but the Blue Ridge area is gorgeous. I'd watch that channel. Dude, I'd be your moderator. I'd mod that channel. YouTube is a lot of work. Oh my God, that's fucking true. It really is, you guys. Maybe that's why I slowed down a little bit on how many videos I was putting out, is because the reward financially wasn't. I make $100 a month plus donations, and I spend a lot of time filming and editing these videos. It takes a lot of time, and yes, it's also a hobby of mine. But I have other hobbies and other things that I enjoy doing. And YouTube takes a lot of work, 8 hours a day sometimes doing editing, just sitting in the van in front of a screen editing. And then once it's posted, I got more work I got to do once it's posted, like putting end cards and music and all that stuff. So um, it's time consuming and it's tedious. And then not that's just the editing portion of it, the filming portion of it. It takes my moment away when I'm trying to enjoy something. It doesn't. I don't get me wrong. I enjoy filming it so I can save those memories, but at the same time, like it does mean that it's another layer of that experience that I have to put the camera up, make sure it's got the right angle and framing and all that, and then I'm making a story that you guys are interested in. So it's a lot of work. It's a ton of work. But thankfully, it's not like I have full time employment. So I enjoy doing it, and I'm very happy to be making these videos, and I'm super grateful that you guys are entertained by them and you enjoy them, and we all get to hang out in live streams. But he's not wrong. YouTube is a lot of work. You can make it less work, but largest metal rock concert on the USA, 190 bands in 5 days. Yeah, I remember seeing the flyer that you posted. It looked like a pretty good amount of folks. Yeah, you can follow Dave Lowe's social media, but if you don't like hot dogs, if you don't like wieners, you're gonna unfollow him. Right on, Dave. Just too many youngins for me anymore on the bus in '78 until '95. Over 300 Jerry shows. Nice, dude. Followed Garcia. If it's your hobby, money is a benefit and not pay. No, that's true. It is a benefit, but at the same time, like if I'm going to be putting in, an entire week's worth of work for very little reward, aside from it being a hobby, then I'm going to slow down, and which is what I've done. So, yay! Buy a sticker, Miku, please do. Plus, YouTube flags music's for copyright. Yeah, Dave knows about that because Dave and I went to Mexico. And remember that video I posted, Dave? I had to pull it down and repost it with a different song because I got flagged for copyright. Even though I got the song off of a copyright-free site that I actually pay money for. You guys, doing YouTube isn't free. I spend money on my video editing software. I spend money on my phone to get data. I spend money on making the thumbnails and the software I use for that. So it's not like YouTube's free. So if it's a hobby, I'm spending money on it, and that's fine. But it would be nice if, yeah. But Dave, you can post videos that you don't own the rights to the music. It does copyright flag them, but it won't take them down. It just means you cannot monetize that video. So when I posted that video of us in Mexico taking Happy to the vet, I put a song on there that I, under the impression it was copyright free, but they flagged it, and that meant that I could keep the video up, but I couldn't monetize that video. They demonetized the video, so the video stayed. They don't, and all the ad revenue from that video went to whoever owns the copyright for that music. So I don't get to monetize it, but whoever owns the copyright for that music does get that cut. They get the royalties for my video. So you can post concert videos, you just won't be able to monetize them. Just getting done when you started. Ted and Company get me going again in 2015. Should I buy a sticker or Cashapp you? Actually, Miku, right now, Cashapp would be very, very appreciated. It's the end of the month. I got a week until payday, and I'm straight up out of money. So at this point, the sticker, would be really cool, but the Cashapp right now would be a little more useful. So thank you for asking that. But whichever one you want to do. It does take a hot minute for me to cash out. It's like 10 days for me to cash out any of the money I collect from my merch store. So once I do the request, 10 days later, in fact, I'm waiting for one of my cash outs right now. I don't think it's quite been 10 days. I should probably check that too. I just put up whatever. I am surprised when people actually watch them. You have a channel, Jeannie? Drop your channel. Oh, can you? just give us the title of your channel. I want to go check it out. I mean, obviously we're friends on Facebook, so maybe I'll go dig through your Facebook, see if I can find your channel. Damn, that was a really fat guy in a little car. my YouTube is mostly live music. A lot of my YouTube is music. That's primarily what I use my YouTube for, but then every once in a while I'll go to the shorts and scroll through. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I get caught up in those videos. I get down that rabbit hole of those videos of cops violating people's rights. I call it bad cop porn. And yeah, I just get caught up in that. And then the people who like stand up to the cops, like that's the videos I like to watch. Dude, Dave, yeah, you should just do a whole freaking wiener channel about you eating hot dogs. Just do like reviews of wieners all over the country. My wiener review. Oh my god, a wiener review. That's beautiful. I can't copy paste links on my phone from YouTube. And for some reason. Huh. Yeah, I don't know if it's... YouTube is so frustrating once you get monetized sometimes. There's like... When you post the video, you have to do like YouTube Studio app to do a couple of things, YouTube Studio desktop version on a browser to do other things. There's some things you can't do on the app. You have to use the browser. And then there's other settings that you can find in your Google settings, since YouTube and Google are kind of in cahoots. I haven't even been able to find the setting to let you guys cuss on my channel. I have been looking for it. I told you guys I would turn that filter off, and I went looking and I have not been able to find it yet. So I'm working on it, but YouTube's a bit confusing sometimes, the way that they have their platform laid out. It's a bit frustrating. Like, they could simplify things very easily, and they don't. My cat loves van life so much, she will not get out of the van, always on dash waiting for more travels. Oh, that's beautiful. Where are you at right now doing the van life thing? Maybe we could link up one of these days. Dave Lowe, people will pay for that. To watch Dave eat hot dogs, I would pay for that. Speaking of which, I don't know how many of you guys noticed. Maybe none of you. And I need to double check to make sure everything is live. But I did start a monthly subscription to my channel. So there's different levels. There's the $5 level, I think a $10 level, $20 level, something like that. And if you want to do a monthly subscription to me to help me out, that would be great too. And you know, you can make it happen at the beginning of the month, so that way it's around payday, or the end of the month if it's the middle of the month, whenever you get paid. And it'll just be an automatic boom out of your account every month. And YouTube, it's just like a super chat essentially, or a super thanks. It says OnlyFans. Yeah, you wish. But yeah, I did start a monthly, finally started a monthly subscription. The only thing that it does offer, if you are a subscriber, is I'm going to start posting videos early. I'm going to start giving early access to the people who are subscribed, whether you're subscribed for $5 or you're subscribed for, you know, whatever. I think the highest one's 20 or 30, what I did. I'll have to double check it, but I kind of did it quickly, and I figure I'm gonna post the video and then give it 2 days. So whoever wants early access to my channel, my videos, or if you just want to you know, send me $5 every month to help me out, you have that option. So I've just started that as well, and I'm gonna, when I'm done here, double check on all the settings and stuff. Like I said, YouTube's very confusing, so I've been trying to work through this. I guess I could have started a Patreon, you know, but this one is built into the platform. It seemed like the most convenient and easiest one for me to start. I've never messed with Patreon, so I don't know how well it does or how well it works, but in any case, that is also another option to support moi, your favorite YouTuber, whether it's the merch store or whether it's just sending me a donation. No link for cash info and description. That's interesting. I was pretty sure I put it in there, but my Cashapp is easy. It's hashtag ZIG0420 0420. And let's see, there should be a join button. You're not seeing a join button? Okay, well then give me an hour or two after the live stream's over. Thanks, Ed, for checking on that for us. Give me Yeah, give me an hour or two after this, and I'll make sure that everything's done right. Maybe I didn't make it live or finish or click a setting. I'm not really sure. It was a bit confusing because, again, it's YouTube. My OnlyFans account just got approved. Hell yeah, get it, girl. I'm not about shaming that kind of stuff, dude. Like, all about it. You know, like, there is no reason to shame women for having an OnlyFans when it's us dudes making that possible. Sex sells. It always has. It always will. Nothing's changed. Um, you know, and that's just the reality of it. They have something that men want, and we're willing to pay money for it. So get it. Get it. I'm not gonna lie, like, it's not like I haven't considered making an OnlyFans. Um, but I'm pretty sure most of my clientele, most of my subscribers would be dudes. Um, and not that I'm not against that, but I'm not comfortable with it either, if that makes sense. So, Dave, I have zero interest in an OnlyFans. You don't want to see my OnlyFans? I'm surprised that there's no I'm surprised that there's not a description in this video. Is there any description in this video? In any case, if you look at almost any of my videos, almost all of them have my donation links in it. Women that sell themselves very unattractive to me. Well, you know, don't spend money there then. Not all men. I don't know what you guys are talking about. You only live once. If you got it, use it. Yep, sex sells. It's just true. I see care packages, Amazon lists, etc., but not my donation links? Huh. Alright, well, I'll fix that. I couldn't date a sex worker. Yeah, then don't date a sex worker. You wouldn't date me, Dave? I thought we were like that, bro. I thought we had something special. Yeah, I've dated dancers. I've dated women with OnlyFans. It doesn't faze me. No link, Cashapp, Venmo info at bottom. Yeah, I can't make it a link. Like, I don't have the ability to make it a link. It's something that YouTube does automatically or it doesn't do. I don't have, the ability to make it a link. If you want to send me a Cash App, my cash tag is Zig0420. It's pretty simple. One night stands in the desert only. YouTube puts a join button next to subscribe, and I'm assuming I don't have one, so I will go ahead and check that setting when I'm done here. Like I said earlier, I will make sure that I'll make sure it's live. I guess it's not live right now, so negate everything I said, but it will be going live soon enough. And then I'll make a community post about it so everyone ought to be able to see it. Yeah, that's true. No one's asking for a date. They're asking for subscriptions. Cause has one. Good for him. Cause has an OnlyFans, or he has a join button? I get it, dude. I don't have a join button. It's not live. I've said that several times. I'll check it. I have spent thousands on the women that have lived with me, but I've never ever had to pay for a one night stand. I don't think anyone's talking about paying for one night stands. I don't know what you guys are getting onto that for. Yeah, I've said it several times. Yeah, he's got a join button. I'm gonna get that squared away. So does Mac. I thought I had one, but I don't. And I'll check that setting when I'm done here. But my phone's in use. The more I get, the more y'all get. Well, then we all hope that your OnlyFans is successful. I sure do. I hope that you're very successful. Zig's tricks. I'm a trickster. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not Loki. I've gone a bit over. 2 hours and 15 minutes I've been here with y'all. Kind of warm. I'm gonna go check the temperature. I've got this handy dandy thermometer right here given to me by Chuck. And right now it's 26% humidity and it's 94 in the van. But that was up there, and up there is like the hottest corner of the van. But I bet you it's about 85 in here. So now that it's down here, it ought to start dropping in temperature. We'll see what happens. But it is pretty warm. You can hit me up, Aaron. Tell me what kind of content you're doing. 87. Oh, 87 where you guys are? I got take it or leave it fans. I need to make an only vans. It's 104 in the shade in Chattanooga. Damn, dude. And you guys got humidity too. It's 26% humidity right now, this tells me. 111 in Okie. Ah, gross. Just talking shit. Oh, it's all good, man. It's all good. I mean, I put myself out in the public, so I expect a little bit of shit talking. Not like I can talk shit about you. The only thing I know about you is your name is Jeffrey Morgan, which sounds fake. Made up name. It's hell on earth right now. It sounds like hell on earth. Thankfully, I'm in a high desert. So, you know, like I said, I did that video and it was 37 degrees the other day. Now it's 94 degrees in here. So, you know, you can't really trust the weather around here. It fluctuates so much. 78 and 50% there. Hell yeah. It is summertime. It is summertime now. Tis the season, you know. And that's why us nomads do what we do. That's a big reason why I travel, is to just stay in comfortable weather. I'm going to be living in a vehicle because of crushing poverty. I might as well not have to worry about climate control and just drive to where the climate's the most comfortable, or at least the best I can do. So yeah, you got AC. Ooh, I got AC in the dash. It just doesn't work. Used to when I bought the van. But yeah, I don't have the energy to run the AC. That air conditioners actually do take a lot of power. And I mean, I would have to spend about what my van's worth on solar just to be able to run an AC here. It's the best kind of climate control ever. It is. It really is. And I get to go to beautiful places. Like, this is my front door. This door I keep opening and closing to let airflow. And sometimes I open it and I'm in the forest. Sometimes I open it and I'm in the desert. Sometimes I open it and I'm next to a river or a lake or a waterfall. Sometimes next to the ocean. Sometimes I'm in a Walmart parking lot or a truck stop, which, you know, isn't that much fun, but they got amenities. Like, I can get a shower and stuff. Speaking of showers, like, that would be wonderful right now. I'm not gonna go hit up my friend after this and get a shower today. I packed up all my temp gauges when I put on my harvest room. Put up my harvest room. Why? Don't you want to know what temperature it is? You're like, nope, done. They're all dead now. This thing even it illuminates, so you know you can see it at night. And that's why we watch you, because where you are, there we are also. Been watching you since you got your place in New Mexico. Oh, dude, that's been a minute. I appreciate your support, man. I appreciate you watching. Is this the first time you've caught a live stream? Or is the first time you've said hi? Because I'm not sure I recognize your name. But yeah, happy to have you, man. Glad you're here. You should join in on more live streams, dude. We have a good crowd here. Some good folks. I need to get back to that place in New Mexico eventually, but the season is quickly coming to an end, and it's going to start getting cold, and it's higher elevation there than here. Not to mention it's halfway across the country, so I would have to drive south. It would basically be about as much gas that it would cost to cross the country, because I would have to go south as far south as it is, and then over as far over as it is. But I'm not going back there. When I leave here, I'm going to slowly make my way back to LA and get that truck off of my shoulders, because it's weighing me down and it's hard to travel with two vehicles. So all right, this time you guys got me for 10 more minutes, 2.5 hours. I'll be cutting the live stream off. Appreciate you, Jeannie, for your donation. I will be here for 10 more minutes. So, um, yeah, pretty good live stream. I want to go get something to drink and get cleaned up. I feel like, dude, it took me a while. After I got back from fishing, like, it took me a hot minute to wash, like, the fish out of my hands. All I could smell was fish when I, and, yeah, I went to this Safeway that I'm at right here and went in there and just, like, washed my, all the way up to my arms, and still smelled like fish. Had to change my clothes, but I think I got it squared away. And in a week I get to do laundry, which I'm actually pretty jazzed about. I'm running kind of low. Maybe that's why I've been sitting here wondering, like, maybe I should get rid of some clothes, because I have a lot of clothes and I don't have a closet to put them in. But then at the same time, like, by the end of the month, I need all those clothes because I can't do laundry. It's expensive, so I can't always do laundry. So I gotta use all my clothes, and then I do one big thing of laundry at the beginning of the month. Wanted $30 by their gauge. I want has this little guy on it, holds umbrella if rain's coming. A $30 wet weather gauge where a little guy holds an umbrella if it's rain. I'm so confused. Is this like an actual statue or something that, or you want to hire someone to to open an umbrella when? I'm so confused. I'm trying. You guys think there's anything left in this? Maybe there might be a little bit, might be one more hit. In the land of cheap ass weed, and I can't afford weed right now. Hey, what's up, Angie? So-called slab life. When are you coming back? Probably when the weather breaks, man. I'm not there when it's 100 degrees or more. You know this. Probably around Halloween sometime. Probably around Halloween. It's usually when I get back. Once the weather breaks, I'll hover around like Lake Mead area, hang out until the weather breaks, and then go say hi to everyone. Oh yeah, okay. I do remember that weed sprayer suggestion for sure. I do remember that. Almost over. Yeah, no, the summer is coming to an end. I'm slowly making my way back to Los Angeles first. I gotta sell that truck that I have, Angie, and then I'll be free to roam about the country. Use a 2-gallon sprayer for shows at Burning Man last year. Yeah, that would work pretty well, actually. It would. It would just be something else to carry in my van. Like, you guys, my van's very short, very small, and I don't have a lot of storage in here, so just carrying around another sprayer with a hose and all that just, maybe if I could mount it somewhere to the roof and put the sprayer somewhere, I don't know. But, I'm very limited on space. So, like, even this drone, which is about maybe a little bit bigger than the sprayer, it's too much drone. Like, it's taking up half of my living room, so having a sprayer is just it might be too much. I got a electrical spout for my 5-gallon jug, and it's getting louder because it's getting empty. Uh-oh. Gotta lean it. Now I gotta go pee. You're welcome. Just think of rainbows and waterfalls and drip, 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 drip. If I was Zig, instead of sprayer, I'd get on-demand hot water, and use a bucket pump or a bottle pump. Dave, I actually do have a 5-gallon onboard tank, and I could hook um, thing to it, a water pump to it, and and I have a propane onboard propane tank. So if I got an on-demand um, hot water heater and then wired, the propane to it, 12 volt to it, and the water pump, I could have on-demand hot water. Well, it's been good seeing you. Glad to see you're healthy and happy. Take care of yourself. Thanks, Elaine. Good to see you too. Appreciate you guys. I used a small one, open back door, hung a sheet, bungee it. I actually used to have, a solar shower, like just a bag, the black bag, and then I would hang it from a tree, and I had a hula hoop I would also hang from the tree. And then I had a shower curtain on the hula hoop, so it would give you 360-degree shower curtain around you, so it was pretty sweet, $140 for 3.5 per minute, $3.50. Oh, 100. I can't even get green bottles. Oh, $140 for that hot water heater. I see what you're saying. For 3.5 per minute. Liters per minute, I'm assuming, or gallons. It would also be the cost of um, the water pump, the hoses, the wires to hook the water pump up, to hook the 12 volts up to the, I assume it's probably a 12 volt igniter, plus the cost of running propane lines from my onboard propane tank. I guess you could use a green bottle for that, or maybe attach an external tank. But yeah, yeah, could work. I wonder where I'd put it. I've honestly thought about like destroying everything in here and and just redoing it in here. I like the left side of my van. I don't really care so much for the right side of the van. There's just a cabinet in a wall that's not even load bearing there. So I've thought about tearing that out and just adding a power station in the very back, and then having more, maybe a couch right there. Oh, 2D batteries, and just like the Ponderosas. Yeah, I guess theirs did have batteries. For some reason, it was their fucking, not their tankless one, but their tank one that had the igniter on it, the 12 volt igniter. All right, guys, 3 more minutes, 2.5 minutes. I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for listening to my fish story. Got a couple of videos I got to edit soon and get out there. One of them is my fishing video, which, by the way, was sponsored by one of you. Chuck, big shout out to Chuck. He sent me the gas money and the bait money to go fishing, and I did. Had a great time. Got to meet that guy Bill I told you guys about earlier. I'll probably make that its own standalone video. And yeah, I've had a good chat. If you feel like you want to donate, my links are in the description. And if they're not, for some reason, right now, they will be. I'll go add those right when we end this. And then be on the lookout for my monthly subscription. If you got 5 on it, 10 on it every month, that's awesome. I'm going to be setting that up real soon. I thought it was live already, but apparently it's not. But that's okay. Yeah, let me catch up real quick. I just read my layout. This tons more room now. Oh, redid your layout. Tons more room now. Nice, dude. Yeah, I think I should probably do something like that. Something similar. Build it the way I want. Take care, Jeannie. Take care, Dave. About to grill fresh stuffed pork, brats, Parmesan garlic, and homemade brioche bread. Bro, I'm probably going to be eating some ramen and canned chicken tonight, so. Info's there, no link, use Cashapp. Yeah, I can't make those links. I can't magically make it a link, you guys. Even if I was to put the web address, if it doesn't become a link, that's because of YouTube's app. Like, I can't make it a link. And I know you can't copy it, but if you go to your PayPal, your Venmo, your Cash App, you can see the address or the cash tag or whatever for each individual app. So you could send it that way. or just super thanks, or I won't get that till next month, and it'll be super helpful next month. So, anyways, I had ramen and canned chicken last night. Hell yeah! I had it 2 nights ago too, but last night I ate fish that I caught out in the wild. So, pretty stoked about that. But anyways, you guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for chatting with me. Um, and as always, miles and smiles.